Anna, Mr. Banks for
Thank you,
5
Mr.
minutes.
Chairman. Dr. Call, you helped write the dangerous Obama-era Iran deal, the JCPOA. You helped negotiate it. Last November, President Biden was caught on video saying the deal was dead. Yet just this month, the administration has renewed sanctions waivers that are key to the deal. Why, in your opinion, is the Biden administration so hell-bent on reentering the new Iran deal?
Thank you for your question. Just as a technical matter, I was not involved in the negotiation of the Iran deal.
You helped write it.
I didn't.
Fair?
But
you were involved with it.
well, I worked in the administration when the deal was negotiated. The President and Secretary Blinken and others in the administration have made clear that we're not about to re-enter the JCPOA anytime soon.
Why did they attempt to re-enter it?
Well, because Iran's nuclear progress since we left the JCPOA has been remarkable. Back in 2018, when the previous administration decided to leave the JCPOA, it would have taken Iran about 12 months to produce one bomb's worth of fissile material. Now it would take about 12 days. And so I think there is still the view that if you can resolve this issue diplomatically and put constraints back on their nuclear program, it is better than the other options. But right now, the JCPOA is on ice because there was an arrangement on the table last summer that the Iranians were not willing to take. And of course, Iran's behavior has changed since then, not the least of which their support for Russia in Ukraine, which is the subject of the conversation here today. So I don't think we're on the precipice of re-entering the JCPOA.
So you're declaring defeat for the new Iran deal on behalf of the Biden administration?
I think our view, actually, I'm just stating what both the President and the Secretary of State have already said, which is that the JCPOA is not on the horizon in the near term. The administration's position remains that a diplomatic deal to put constraints around Iran's program remains the best alternative to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. But the President has also made clear that his policy is that Iran will not get a nuclear weapon, period, and that if a diplomatic outcome is not possible, that we have other options to deal with that problem.
So does it concern you that Putin and China are on the side of negotiating the same deal that you helped craft during the Obama administration?
There are no active P5+1 negotiations, so China and Russia being at the table or not being at the table are not terribly germane.
Can you shed light for us on why we tapped Russians to help negotiate on America's behalf in the renewed negotiations during the Biden administration?
It's not clear to me what you're referencing, but I think that during the Obama administration, at least, the Russians were able to compartmentalize differences that we had in some areas and the common view of not wanting Iran to get a nuclear weapon. I think we're not in the same place right now because the Russians, because of how badly they're doing in Ukraine, are becoming increasingly dependent on Iran, and therefore I think are a lot less likely to put pressure of any kind on Iran to accede to any diplomatic agreement because they're trying to get Iran to ship them more drones, missiles, and other capabilities.
In 2021, did you expect the invasion of Ukraine?
In 2021, well, in 2021 we warned the world about, I'm sorry?
You expected it? You anticipated it?
Beginning in the fall, I think it's of public record. Beginning in the fall, we had very good intelligence that Vladimir Putin was putting the pieces in place to be able to carry out a large-scale invasion. We began to downgrade, declassify, and share that information with the world in the fall of 2021.
Then why, shed light for us, then why did the Biden administration lift sanctions on Nord Stream 2 if we anticipated it?
Well, I think the timelines are different in those. You should correct me if the record is different. I believe the Nord Stream conversations were several months before. And largely that was in order to stay united with Germany, but also to give us a leverage point. In fact, what's interesting is that had that not gone forward, the ability of Germany to then essentially walk away from the deal would not have been effective punishment or leverage over the Russians. But these were not linked in time.
In hindsight, should we regret that decision to lift those sanctions?
You know, I work at the Defense Department. I wasn't involved in any of those deliberations, so I'd really defer those questions to the Treasury Department and the State Department. I don't have an opinion on that conversation. No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. I yield back.
Thanks.